Stress is often described as an emotion, something we feel during deadlines, conflict, or uncertainty. But biologically, stress is not merely a feeling. It is a full-body survival mechanism that can physically reshape the structure and function of your brain. To understand how stress rewires the brain, we must first go back to the foundations of modern stress research.
Welcome to SciCuriousID, where curiosity meets science.
In the 1930s, endocrinologist Hans Selye described what he called the general adaptation syndrome. He proposed that stress is a universal biological response to threat, whether physical or psychological. When the brain perceives danger, it activates the hypothalamic and pituitary adrenal axis, or HPA axis. This triggers the release of cortisol and adrenaline. In the short term, this system is remarkably adaptive. Your heart rate increases. Glucose floods your bloodstream. Your attention sharpens. Reaction time improves. This acute stress response helped our ancestors survive predators, environmental hazards, and conflict. It is not inherently harmful. The problem arises when stress becomes chronic. Modern stress rarely involves physical predators. Instead, it is persistent financial pressure, social instability, academic competition, workplace demands. When stress does not switch off, cortisol levels remain elevated for extended periods. And this is where structural changes begin. Let us examine three key brain regions. First, the amygdala. This almond-shaped structure deep within the temporal lobe. It is central to fear processing and threat detection. Chronic stress strengthens neural connections in the amygdala, increasing its reactivity. Research published in Nature Reviews Neuroscience shows that prolonged exposure to stress hormones enhances dendritic growth in this region. In simple terms, the amygdala becomes more sensitive. The brain becomes primed to detect danger, even when none exists. This explains why chronically stressed individuals often feel anxious, hypervigilant, or emotionally reactive. Second, the hippocampus. This region is essential for memory consolidation and contextual learning. Unlike the amygdala, the hippocampus tends to shrink under chronic stress. Studies from Harvard Medical School demonstrate this reduction. Prolonged cortisol exposure can reduce hippocampal volume and impair neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons. The hippocampus is particularly vulnerable because it contains a high density of cortisol receptors. Excess cortisol disrupts synaptic plasticity. This can lead to memory problems, difficulty concentrating, and reduced cognitive flexibility. Third, the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for executive function, decision-making, impulse control, and rational thought. Chronic stress reduces activity and connectivity in this region. Neuroimaging studies indicate weakened prefrontal regulation. In practical terms, this means emotional impulses become stronger, while rational control becomes weaker. The brain shifts from deliberate thinking to reactive survival mode. So, what we call stress is not just psychological discomfort. It is a biological shift in neural balance. However, the story does not end there. The same principle that allows stress to rewire the brain, neuroplasticity, also allows recovery. The brain is not static. It adapts continuously to experience. When stresses are reduced and recovery mechanisms are activated, structural changes can partially reverse. Physical exercise promotes hippocampal neurogenesis. Sleep restores synaptic balance. Mindfulness practices reduce amygdala reactivity. Social support buffers cortisol responses. Research from the HPA highlights that resilience is a dynamic biological capacity. Neural circuits can be reshaped again in healthier directions. This dual nature of neuroplasticity is crucial. The brain does not distinguish between good or bad rewiring. It adapts to repeated input. Chronic fear strengthens fear circuits. Chronic calm strengthens regulatory circuits. Understanding this shifts the narrative. Stress is not weakness. It is biology. But unmanaged chronic stress is not neutral, it gradually alters neural architecture. What daily patterns are you reinforcing right now? Are you repeatedly activating threat circuits? Or are you strengthening recovery circuits? The brain you will have 5 years from now is being sculpted today. What strategies should societies, workplaces, and individuals prioritize to protect long-term cognitive health? Let us know in the comments, do you think modern life is biologically mismatched with the stress system we evolved for?
Thanks for watching SciCuriousID. Until next time.